Hello, everyone. This is actually the part two of reliability test, where I won't discuss why we do reliability. Usually, when we do reliability test, we use reliability test or Cronbach alpha. We use Cronbach alpha. If the questionnaire we are going to use in our research is a researcher made. So if your questionnaire is already published and you use that one, you just need to cite the author of the article you are adapting or their name. But in reliability tests, usually this is commonly used if your questionnaire is researcher made. So reliability test is used when you do pilot study. So here, let us check. This is my research, the one I have created um, last year, and I'm actually going to plan to publish it. And when you do reliability tests, it's when you do some Likert scaling. You want to see if the question being asked here are reliable, because sometimes the researcher or the respondent is just going to check everything here without even um, asking or without reading it. But sometimes respondents also do read, so that's why when you do reliability tests or when you do pilot testing, you will be you will only be asking 10 students or 10 respondents who are responsible enough or who are willing enough to critique your questionnaires, because um, they are really important in identifying whether the questions you have stipulated in your questionnaires are really reliable. So in here, I have three sections for reliability testing. We have perceived learning experience. We also have statistical learning outcomes, and we also have the mediating role of YouTube videos. So in here, um, we are going to see whether the questionnaires I have input here are reliable. So take a look at here. This one is a good one. It's in Likert scaling. We have seen the questionnaire I made. I have here 15 respondents. I told you earlier that sometimes when we do pilot testing, usually we have only 10 respondents, but I have here sample 15 respondents as a sample for testing. So in pilot testing and checking the reliability test, we are not actually checking with the nominal data, this one. We're not actually checking with the question that has nominal data. We are actually checking whether the statements stipulated in a Likert scale are consistent or reliable, because sometimes there are a lot of questions and then the statement in number one is affirmative, but the statement in number two is not affirmative or negated. So in reliability test, we are actually testing whether statement number one in a particular section is the same, how you state the question number one is also the same to the entire question. So if we remember here, if this one is also stated correctly in align with this one, because sometimes respondents are just going to check if they agree, everything will be agreed here. But again, if you will be doing a reliability test, make sure the respondents or the students or the participants of your study should be willing enough to scrutinize and to really understand or grasp your questionnaire. So in reliability test, we are only again testing the sections which has a Likert scale. Um, so you can analyze. Let me just teach you how to import the data. So in my other video, I already have explained on how to do it. You just here open, and then you browse, and then you find your file. Okay, just import. But I already have imported this one, so I cannot no longer. I can't let you see on how I imported this one. So now we will go to reliability test. I have here the factor because we are reducing, and we have your reliability test or reliability analysis. So remember, we have 3 sections in my questionnaires. So we will be doing the 3 sections. So we have here perceived learning experience as the title of my data that I have inputted. So let's check the data that we have. I actually have a video on how to encode the data properly so that once you do analysis, it would be easy for you to do it. So we have your question for perceived learning experience. Take a look at here. This is the questionnaire here. Perceived learning experience. We will be doing first the perceived learning experience. So you just put here the perceived learning experience, and then you stop by, I think, this one. Let us count. If this is 10 already, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these 10 questions are the one reflected here in the questionnaire. This one. Okay, we have 10 questions for perceived learning experience. So we will be putting a statistical output. Statistical output is the result from your Jamovi, and this will be used so that this will be helpful so that you will no longer open the statistical software if you want to see the result. Okay, so in here, let's go back to the Jamovi. We have your Jamovi, and then the Cronbach alpha is presented here. We have your 0.860. We actually have the range. We will set that with the discussion. Then we have here the Cronbach alpha if we drop an item. And we also need to put the mean and then the standard deviation. Okay, so we have here the perceived learning outcome. So these are the Cronbach alpha if we drop. So anything here, if we drop, we still have a big Cronbach alpha. So this actually a reliable one. So you copy and paste that one in your statistical software here, statistical output. I want you to submit this one, our statistical output. You paste it here. There you are. You will have the perceived learning. Perceived learning outcome. Okay. Now, after the perceived learning outcome, we will have the, actually, you need to also include the mean and the standard deviation for the entire one. So it will give you the mean and standard deviation here. You copy and then paste it. Not that one, statistical output. You will change this one because it does not give us the entire one. Okay, here. Then we will have the second part. The second part of the questionnaire, I mean the fourth section, is the statistical learning outcomes. Statistical learning outcomes. We will put it here in the statistical output. Statistical learning outcome. So we will have a new one so that this will be clean enough. Now we're done with the perceived learning experience. We will go now to the this one. Statistical learning outcome. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the question you can find in the questionnaire, the fourth part, statistical learning outcomes. Sorry, it is not numbered, but that is the concept we have here. So you will put the mean and then the standard deviation, as well as the Cronbach alpha if the items drop, well as the mean and standard deviation. Okay, so you just copy and also paste it here in the statistical output. Take note, you need to submit this one to me. Okay, then the last part of the questionnaire is we have the mediating rule of the YouTube videos. So you just copy and paste it here. And also, um, um, do it again for the third time because you have 3 sections for the Likert scale. And then just count it if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you click again this one, the mean and also the standard deviation, also the Cronbach alpha, and also the mean is standard deviation. Okay, so this is for the fourth part of your questionnaire, and you paste it again in your statistical output. Okay, then after have all the section, you will have the overall. This time, you will be putting from the third section to the fifth section. You do the reliability analysis again, but this time you will include everything. So you will have this 1, 2, 3, everything. Okay? Because you're testing the overall. You need actually the overall. And you have the mean and also the standard deviation, Cronbach alpha, as well as mean and standard deviation. Okay. Then you have the overall. Overall, it's 0.932. So that is good. Then you copy and then paste it over here, statistical output, and then paste. Okay, now you're done for the analysis, but you still need to present this one in a way that the reader will understand the result because statistical output itself will not give you the discussion. So you will have another separate file for your statistical discussion. Okay. So, as what we have mentioned earlier, we need a separate file for the results and discussion. So usually this one should be attached um in your when you do testing, it should be attached in the appendices, including the statistical output. So your results and discussion should look like this one when you do the pilot testing or pilot study. You will have the descriptive statistics and reliability analysis of the study constructs. So here we have the constructs. We have the questionnaire have 3 sections for a Likert scale. We have the perceived learning outcomes, statistical learning outcomes, mediating role of the YouTube videos, and we also have the overall, as also reflected in the statistical output. We have it here, so the overall. Okay, we have here overall. So your column headings will be number of items. Each constructs have 10 items, so a total of 30 items. There's of the name and the standard deviation. So if you remember the Likert scale is from 1 to 5. So you can see here we have a mean of 3.82. That's um almost 4 and a smaller standard deviation. So more or less the lies between 3 to 4. Then we have here the range if Cronbach alpha is the. So here we can see the minimum Cronbach alpha if we drop an item and the highest Cronbach alpha. If it is um the highest Cronbach alpha. And we have the Cronbach alpha. Actually, sometimes we need to, I will show you later, there are actually things that we will drop an item. I will show you later. So here we have, let's go to the perceived learning outcome. We have 10 items. If we count this one, these are 10 items. Then we have the mean here, mean, and then the SD, this one, we copy and paste. Then the range if the front lock alpha is dropped. So you need to look at here the lowest and also the highest. That's why you have here the 0.815 here. Also the 0.72 as the highest. And then the front lock alpha, this one. Then you just copy and paste. You do the same with the next sections. We have statistical learning outcomes, and we also have the midgeting rule and also the overall. And then you do the discussion. I just have here a short discussion. Table shows all constructs of high mean scores. Because as I have told you, as we have discussed, it was in Likert scale. ranges from 1 to 5, and it has a high mean score, indicating that they have a strong agreement among respondents. And based on the reliability analysis, it has a good to excellent internal consistency. As the legend says, the internal consistency that is greater than 0.70 is acceptable. Then you have your reliability analysis. With Cronbach alpha, values ranges from 0.860, this one, to 895. And an overall alpha of 0.932. The alpha is dropped when it's confirmed that no item significantly weakens the scales. Thus, the instrument demonstrates strong reliability and suitable for further analysis. So the instrument we have constructed is a good one. Now, the question is, what if the Cronbach alpha is smaller and you need to drop an item? So I will let you see a Okay, so this is also another way in presenting a results and discussion when it comes to identifying whether you need to retain or drop an item. So according to the study of Coutin et al. 2009, we have here the ranges of Cronbach alpha, whether it should be dropped or it should be revised. So here, we have the Cronbach alpha. Sometimes the Cronbach alpha will fall below 0.71. So your interpretation could be non-acceptable and you need to whether revise it or drop that one. So in this case, they have a lot of factors, and this is under the number 2, and in her study, there are a lot of factors to consider. So this is also another way in presenting your Cronbach alpha reliability test. This is the discussion. Okay, so I think I have discussed well on how to do reliability tests in Cronbach alpha. So I hope you have learned something today, and I'll see you again for my next video. Bye.